Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. My videos are about love, infinity, creation, energy. Because we're infinite love, infinite creation, infinite energy. This is who we are. This is our nature. It's our nature. Why? Because of the human heartbeat. The human heartbeat generates an electromagnetic field. It's a spherical electromagnetic field around the human body. It's the pulse of life, the pulse of creation. And this powers the human body, the organism. It makes our brains function so we can be conscious and self-aware. We are sentient as a result. Our organs function, homeostasis, symbiosis, synergy, all these different things that are requirements for life happen as a result of the human heartbeat. So at a biological scale, if you want to be objective about this, realistically speaking, our biological creator is the human heart. It's a beautiful thing. So the creator is a human heart from a biology point of view. And this is a beautiful notion, because if you understand this, then you start to think, because this is what we do. We think we're sentient beings. You see, we are a very intelligent species. We are an extremely sophisticated, highly advanced organism. In fact, we are the most sophisticated, the most advanced, most complex organism that there is, according to understanding. There's nothing more sophisticated than us as an organism, a biological organism that we know of. We are highly sophisticated, we're highly advanced, we're an incredible species. The human species is an amazing species, very intelligent, very sentient, very conscious, very self-aware. We're light spherical beings. This is who we are. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it a little bit. How is it that we are that? How is it that we are that? Well, let's go back to the basics. It's always about origin. It's always about genesis. It's always about the root. It's always about understanding the beginning. Because when you understand the beginning, then you know who you are. You know your story. So let's think about it fundamentally. So the primordial instinct is the human heartbeat, because without the human heartbeat there would be no such a thing as a human race. We require the heartbeat to live. This is our primordial instinct to exist, is the human heartbeat. So we live as a result of the human heartbeat. And then where does the heartbeat takes place? It takes place at the heart. It's a human organ. We all have one. What else happens as a result of life? See, energy is electromagnetic field that generates the pulse of life, and that gives us life, creation itself, us, the human race. We're alive. Systems go live as a result of the electromagnetic field of the human heartbeat. Pulse of life, pulse of creation. What else happens at the heart? Once you're alive, you're conscious, aware, self-aware, you're sentient, you are living, you're breathing. What happens? Well, we love with our hearts. Love. So you see, creation itself gives us love as a mechanism. You see, creation itself gives us love as the mechanism. It's just a beautiful thing. So love comes from the heart, right? And life comes from the heart, from the electromagnetic field generated as a result of the resonance from the heartbeat. So this is just a wonderful thing. This is just the way it is. This is just the way it is. So if you think about it fundamentally, we love with our hearts, but our hearts give us life. So we live to love. So what is the meaning of this? Well, our instinct is to live, but our instinct is also to love, because we love with our hearts, and our hearts gives us life. So we live to love, and we love to live. Why? Because who doesn't want to have a beautiful life? So our purpose is to have purposeful lives. So we live to love. That's our purpose. Our purpose is to live, and our purpose is to love, because they come together. They happen at the same place, the human heart. So we live to love, and we love to live, because we all want to have purposeful life. We all want to have lives of fulfillment. We want to have fulfilling lives, happy lives, joyful lives. That's what we all want, meaningful lives. It's not such a thing as a human who doesn't want to be happy. I mean, You see, it's our nature. It's our nature. We all want to feel good. We all want to feel good. And we feel good with heart energy, with love energy. See? So what does that make us then? Well, think about it. If our primordial instinct is the human heartbeat, that gives us life in the first place because we're energy, the electromagnetic field that powers the human body and creates us, and we are life. So energy is creation and creation is life. Ta-da, us. And what does that do? Well, it's telling us you live to love. Hey, it's a signal, it's a sign that is telling us nature is very wise, and it acts in the most poetic and simplest of ways. It's telling you, I'm giving you the heartbeat, so you love, sir. You love, that's what you do. And so that if our two most important instincts are to live and to love, because they all happen in the same place simultaneously, because we go live, and when we go live, we're conscious and self-aware, so we can feel right away because we're sentient. So then what happens? What happens? Well, that means that our instinct is to love, meaning we are a benevolent species. We are a benevolent species. And this is an important notion. And as I speak of this, the sun just comes out and starts beaming with life. This is not a coincidence. So it's all part of existence. I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. So our instinct is to love. We are a benevolent species. We're a heartful species. We're a heart-based species. We're a love-based species. This is who we are. We create with a love. You know, love can be measured at the labs. I mean, this is not like... We got the most sophisticated tools and equipment right now as of the 11th of July 2024, and we can measure the heartbeat, we can measure the resonance of the human heart, and not only at that scale of the heartbeat, but at the scale of emotions themselves. You see, and the highest frequency, the highest rate that the human heart can emit is love. It's the highest frequency, it's the highest vibration. There is ability for the heart to emit all these other frequencies, but they're not as high as love, because love is the highest frequency, which is the frequency of creation. So everything else is below love in terms of hierarchies of intensity, frequency, and vibration. So obviously we ought to aim for the highest, because this is who we are. We are creation itself. Love. And why love? Well, very simple. Very simple. Then again, nature is lecturing us in the most, in the humblest of ways, really. It's like an incredible teacher, nature. It's just Mother Earth is amazing. So, it's very simple. It's very simple. We make love. We make love and we create life. You see, it's as simple as that. We make love and we create life. You see, we create life. We have children. And what's our instinct? We're making love, right? We're creating life. And what's our instinct? Well, we love our creation. We love our children. I love my kid. It's an instinct. I see my kid and I can't describe it. Because if you're a parent, you understand that when you see your children, you see your child, you see your kid, that's just this emotion. Hey, it's an instinct. It's love. And we all have this because we are the human race. We all have this because it's our nature. So it's just as simple as that. It's just infinite love. It's love that creates us all. Love. At the biological scale, it's all about love. Love is creation. Creation is energy. The energy of love is the most powerful creation. You see, creation creates creators, and this is what we are. We were created to create, and we create through love. So it's just as simple as that. That's why we are a benevolent species. So it's just all biological. But you see, we're not only here to reproduce. That's an instinct to reproduce. And how does that work? Well, we make love. You see, it's love. So you have the egg and sperm coming together. And what does that do? Well, the seed of life, the zygote comes as a result. After 22 days, the human embryonic development, the heartbeat forms around the 22nd day. That's it. You see, that energy itself, the powering the embryo into a fetus, and then we are born and we do what we do. So that's just beautiful. You see, biology is just incredible. It's just incredible. So then again, we're not only capable of that, we are much more capable because we're conscious, we're self-aware, we're intelligent, we are sentient. We're not just making love all day. We are doing much more than that. And that is self-love. We love ourselves, the individual, so we can understand what love is, and we can love others. We can love others. And when we love others, then that's when the cycle of life really kicks in, because that's when harmony kicks in and everything starts to work, because we start to homogeneous cooperate in a synergistic manner as a species through love. Communities form and all these different things. It's all because of love. Signaling, chemical signaling. You see, we give it many names, all sorts of names, but it comes down to that. It comes down to love, energy, the resonance of the heart. And then we also create. You see, we don't only love ourselves and others, we love our creations. And our creations are not only biological, we're not only creating children. You look at our history for thousands of years, we've been creating, building, designing, producing. We are just amazing creators, artists, crafts people. We are amazing. So we've been doing it for thousands of years. Technologies of all sorts, advancement, the ascent of humanity comes as a result of our ability to create. Because it's our nature, we are creators. And the creator always loved the creation. Always. Because it's the love that you put behind your actions. You're backing your actions with love. And then you create the most wonderful things. And then humanity accepts it and resonates with it, because we all have a heart and we see a beautiful thing when it's created. And we all agree and appreciate it. And we are rewarded as a result of our creation, because it was with a human heart, with love. You see, this is who we are, and this is our nature. We are a benevolent species. We are a benevolent species. We are a heart-based species, a love-based species, a heart-based species. This is who we are. This is our nature. This is our nature. We are a wonderful species. We truly are fantastic. We are amazing. We're the most sophisticated organism that we know, because of ability to create. And let's just talk about creation a little bit, because today's video is about free will, which is a super important component of life. You see, because we are conscious and self-aware, we have free will. Free will. And it's this beautiful thing that we all humans have. Because of our consciousness and our self-awareness, we all have the ability to choose freely our own destinations, chart our own paths. So let's talk about it. So you can always refer to the visual on y.how/free-will. That's y.how/free-will. That's y.how/free-will. It's on Substack and it's on YouTube as well. See, I'm a visual writer. I write my visuals and put it out there, and then I narrate them and talk about them. I think we are visual learners. Our sight is the primordial sight is the primordial sense. So we use it, we rely on it, and we learn through our eyes for the most part. We are visual learners. So that's why my book is visual, and then that's why I do videos, because they're visual. So that's why I go about it this way. Then eventually all these words that I'm saying, I would get them transcribed and maybe get it bounded, bind that into a book that's actual physical. That's something that can happen. It's not an issue. And if you guys want to do it yourselves, do the transcripts, print the images, put them together. I don't mind, because this is free. This is for humanity. I'm just the messenger. I'm sharing the message, but the message belongs to all of us. So you go ahead. I'm giving you the authority to bound it and print it, press it all out there without any restraints. Get the transcripts and share the message. So now let's talk about free will, because this is a beautiful notion. And let's just get understanding what free will is. We are compass. You see, we are compass. Each of us is a compass. We're all infinite creators. This is infinite eternal creators. This is who we are. And compass, is this fundamental notion. It's a fundamental notion. It's part of the book. The book's name is Fantasies and Illusions, Compass, The Quest for Free Will. You see, it's packed in the title. But let's just break it down. So compass is who we are, spherical in nature. You see, we're spherical in nature because of our light, spherical being that we are, because of the electromagnetic field of the heart that generates this electromagnetic force field, this field of creation that's spherical surrounding the human body. This energy that surrounds the human body is spherical in nature. And then, it creates the ability for us to exist in the first place, so we can be conscious and self-aware and love, which is our instinct to love and to create. And why is it spherical? Why is compass spherical? Why is creation itself spherical? Well, because that's just the pattern of creation itself. It's the organizing agent, it's the structure of it. It has chosen the geometry of a sphere because of all sorts of phenomena, and those are related to electromagnetism and polarization, and the ability to generate all sorts of momentum as a result of this beautiful, beautiful motion, which is energy itself at the infinite scale. And it replicates, and we can see it and we observe it. It's natural phenomena. It's observable at all scales of creation. And because we have human eyes, and our human eyes are spherical, we can see. And so when we see, you see, I'm staring at the sun right now. I'm looking at the sun. It's right there in front of me. And when you look at the sun is spherical. The sun is a spherical object, and the sun itself has its own electromagnetic field, and it's a gigantic electromagnetic field. It's huge. It encompasses the sun itself, and the sun, we know that's massive. And the electromagnetic field of the sun itself, powering the fusion reaction happening at the core of the heart of the sun, that generates the conditions, the singularity, right? The event horizon. So as a byproduct of this toroidal force, this singularity at the heart of the sun, this wormhole that emerges as a result of polarization at the scale of solar creation, we have a byproduct called elements, and then the sun creates elements as a result of it at the heart of it, because of the escape velocity, because of light particles and energy itself colliding at speeds faster than the speed of light. Listen to this. Escape velocity, meaning this singularity, light cannot escape it, meaning it's faster than light. See? So think about it. So the collision of particles at the singularity event, the event horizon, at the source of the sun, as a result of its electromagnetic pulse of creation, this force, this gravitational pull, is more powerful and faster than the speed of light, meaning that the byproduct of this interaction, this natural phenomena, is the creation of elements themselves, meaning hydrogen, and which is the first element of the periodic table, if I stand correctly. So, and hydrogen is this fundamental element, is a highly active, reactive element that generates all sorts of conditions around existence here in the solar system. So planets emerge as a result of that due to the gravitational forces of natural phenomena. All because of the polarization and the electromagnetism of the sphere, self-conscious and aware of its own nature and its own gravitational pull. And because of these motions of creation at the highest of density in terms of energy input and output, we have the ability to see light as a result of that. And energy at the astronomical scale is that it shapes things into form due to gravity and all sorts of phenomena. And that's what we call, creation at the astronomical scale. And then as a result of that, the force field of creation itself, infinity, generates the motions required due to this gigantic amount of energy and force, and it generates angular momentum and spin, torque, and all these forces, centrifugal forces toroidal in nature, this polarization, this electromagnetism that generates the conditions for singularities to emerge, for event horizons to emerge, for wormholes to emerge. And as a result of that, then we have galaxies, and then we have planets, and we have stars. And they're all spherical in nature, because they all have an electromagnetic field that is spherical in nature. See, it's the pattern of creation itself. That's why our electromagnetic field is spherical in nature. That's why our eyes are spherical in nature, because we see with our eyes light itself, which is what creates the conditions through hydrogen and all the other elements. So then the Earth itself is a spherical object, just like the Sun. And the Earth itself has its own electromagnetic field as a result of all these forces. This is just a powerful notion. And then as a result of that, life is created at that terrestrial scale. It's a much denser scale. The sun is high energy, high vibration, is incredibly powerful oscillation. The resonance of the electromagnetic field of the sun creates elements at the first element. Imagine hydrogen. Imagine the power of that singularity event that life itself cannot escape. But as a result of the collision of those particles and the motions of the singularity itself, we generate light itself in the way of hydrogen. So, you see, it's just amazing. Hydrogen is the byproduct of escape velocity at that level of gravitational force. That's how impressive it is. I'm going to say that again. Hydrogen is the byproduct of the gravitational forces at that scale of singularity. And hydrogen is the primordial element that creates light itself and all we see. It's just amazing what hydrogen does. You see, as an element. And then Earth shapes into form, spherical, just like the sun, and it has its own electromagnetic field. It's also spherical. You see the pattern of creation here, different scales, different densities, but the fact remains, the organizing structure, the geometric structure of creation itself, infinity, is spherical in nature. Electromagnetic polarization, singularity, event horizon, as a result of angular momentum and the friction that happens as a result of electromagnetic forces due to movement and motion and forces, torque, spin, all these different motions of the field of creation itself due to its gravitational pull and its gravitational forces that are centrifugal in nature and toroidal in nature. So it's all that, and the sun is just the result of this beautiful creation. And bigger than the sun, the galaxies themselves are toroidal in nature. They have their own, there's a wormhole, a singularity, event horizon at the heart of each galaxy. You see, a galaxy has an event horizon that is so powerful that light itself cannot escape it, thus generating the conditions for the